Hi, my name is Kathy Sadlier-Fiol. I was surprised when I put my name in and I saw all of the things that showed up, but I realized that they're all of the different things that I've been doing while I've been earning my master's program. I wanted to tell you that I was born in Walled Lake, Michigan, and I spent from the time I was 3 until I was 21, lived in Walled Lake, approximately this area here. I went to elementary school at St. William's Catholic School here, and then after that I went to Walled Lake Western, which was over here on Beck Road and Pontiac Trail. And so this will bring up Walled Lake Western. We were the Warriors. And after I graduated from high school, I didn't have anyone in my family that had gone to college. I was the second oldest of 7 children. And so I just went ahead and went to work at Michigan National Bank. I worked there for 29 years, a total of 29 years. Michigan National Bank went through a lot of different mergers and changes over the years, and eventually became Standard Federal Bank. And then after Standard Federal Bank, then it became Bank of America, and that's what it is now, is Bank of America. One of the interesting places that I worked at while I worked at the bank was the General Motors buildings, which is in Detroit. I had worked most of the time out in the suburbs, but I worked in the General Motors building, and it was kind of a new experience for me to be working in the city. And it was kind of cool because right across the street from where I worked was the Fisher building, and there were underground tunnels, and so instead of having to go outside to go over to the Fisher building, we would just go under these underground tunnels that were underneath West Grand Boulevard. I would have to go over there every day. There was the post office was over under the Fisher building, so I'd have to walk through the tunnels and go over to the Fisher building every day to pick up our mail. So it was kind of a different experience. And then also parking was weird because you couldn't park by the building. We had to walk a couple blocks. And then I got involved a lot more then with the things that were going on in town because I was down there all the time. So once I met my husband, he inspired me to go to college. And so I went to Oakland University, mostly because of the location close to home, and I could still continue to work at the bank. I was working at Big Beaver and 75 at that time, so it was easy to get over to Oakland University. I went to Oakland University and got my bachelor's in education with a math and language arts majors from there. When I graduated, I wasn't able to find a position here in Michigan. So I went looking all over on the internet, and I ended up finding a position that was open at the Madison County Central School in Florida. So I flew down there, went on an interview, and ended up getting the job down there at the Central School. Kind of different for me. First of all, my husband was still here, and so I went down and lived in Florida by myself, rented a room in an older home. Less than a mile from the school is where I lived. The school is K through 8. I taught 7th grade there. The middle school has the middle school students for the entire county. So our elementary school was just the children that lived nearby, but then the middle school was for any of the students that lived anywhere in the county. And then right down the road, less than a mile from us, was the high school. And that's where the students would go after they left us. So it was my first time in 7th grade. I also, living with my husband up here, and it was kind of weird because you think of Florida and you think of this real hot area where you would be living, have summer all the time. But as it turned out, the year that I was there, they had like one of the coldest winters on record, and the home that I lived in didn't have any heating, so that was kind of interesting. I would wear my boots and coat to bed. You could see that it's really close to the Georgia border. It's in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing there at all. And so if you wanted to go shopping, I would have to go up to Valdosta, which was the next biggest town, and they had a Walmart and a few stores there. But pretty much there wasn't much around. There was like the library and the grocery store that I went to and the church that I attended. They were all between where I lived and where I went to school, so I didn't travel a lot of miles when I was down there. Actually, during the month of November when I lived down there, it only took me 1 tank of gas for that entire month to go to work and to live down there. So that was one of the good things about it. Other than that, I was happy when my year was up and I was able to come back to Michigan. Several reasons: husband, and just wanted to be back where I was familiar. So once I got up here, I was fortunate to get a job teaching 4th grade at Eaton Academy, which is in East Point. This is a picture that shows the summer school program, the students that were there for the summer school, and you can see inside our gym, which was also our cafeteria. So these were the students that had come. This was one of the last days of summer school where we gave them a free lunch. And then I've been there ever since, taught 4th grade for 2.5 years, and now I'm teaching 2nd grade this year, and I'm really enjoying myself. Have 16 students in my classroom this year, so I'm really fortunate that I have such a small class. A couple personal things. One thing I do like to do is read, and so we have a brand new library in Bloomfield Township that I go to. It's really huge and it's really beautiful, and there's all kinds of events and things that go on there. So I spend a lot of time researching what I want to read and picking it up at the library there. And then the other thing that I do that is for fun is I am a member of the Birmingham Village Players, which is a theater group. I joined them in 1997, and they put on plays. I've been in a variety of plays. My very first one with them was Music Man, and the last one that I've done with them is Oliver. And I thoroughly enjoy my time that I spend there, and I try to get involved with the children. There's a children's theater there. So that's some information about me. Thank you.